like a Hellcat.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, where at last we are taking a look at another Saturn game, and it's the game that I've been playing quite a bit recently, and that is Alien Trilogy. Now, before I start talking about the game at all, I need to point out that I have never watched an Alien film at all. There are loads and loads of them now, and I've not seen any of them, so my opinion of the game is basically from playing this game alone. I can't relate to anything that's happened in any of the movies, although it has inspired me to go out and buy them all. I bought the Blu-ray Quadrology and it came today in the post. I plan to watch one tonight. So basically the gist of this game is that you, Ripley, and your crewmates are going into space, and you're gonna go on these take care of all these aliens that are infecting and overrunning the vessels in space and other locations. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but you're gonna go in there, you're gonna try and eradicate them all, stop these xenomorphs spreading, multiplying, mutating, and basically taking over. And yeah, your job is to go in there, absolutely kill every single one, and then try and escape with your life intact. So, once the intro's done and the main menu hits up, you're hit with the creepy alien music started playing, and it really sets the tone straight away. It's got a great feeling to it right from the get-go, I feel. And heading into options, it's pretty straightforward. You've got your sound settings, mono and stereo. You've got your sound effects volume. You've got your music volume. You've got the difficulties: Raging Terror, Acid Rain, and Xenomania. Options to change the controls, enter your passwords if you want to cheat, loading your save data, changing whether the camera squares, watching the credits, and then of course exiting back to the main menu. Now, once you start every new level, you're given a mission brief. It's really crisp and clear. The text actually on here, it really struck me. Some of the Saturn games, it's not got great clear text, but on this it's crisp, it's clear, it tells you exactly what you need to do on the levels, and then boom, away you go. So the game itself is split into 3 sections: Area 1, Area 2 and Area 3, and they've all got 10 or 11 levels each. There's over 30 levels altogether now. I'm pretty sure each area is supposed to represent the first movie, the second movie and the third movie. Not double check that, and as I've not watched the movies, I'm just making that assumption, but it works well. The game's broken up really well, and you don't get too bored of the settings, because when you do the first 10 levels and fight the boss, you go on to the next area, same again, and it generally works really well. Before I go on to talk about the graphics and how it looks and how it plays and everything like that, what I want to point out is the music. It's one of the most important things about this game. It really sets you in the mood. It makes you feel alone. It makes you feel threatened. It genuinely has a fantastic soundtrack for the game. And off the top of my head, I can't think of any other first-person shooters. I've not played a lot of first-person shooters, if I'm honest, but I can't think of any where the soundtrack's as important as it is in this game. It makes you feel alone. It makes you feel like you could well be in danger, and that is a fantastic thing. Especially, the game's over 25 years old now, so to still have that feeling playing it now, that is a genuine plus point for the game. Right then, on to the nitty-gritty now, and I'm going to talk about the way the game looks. Like I've said already, the atmosphere is there with the game, especially from the music, but the graphics as well, they suit the game down to the ground. I can't really fault them. The 3D engine for the environments is good, it runs well. There's only slowdown when you're using the flamethrower weapon and there's multiple enemies on screen. that is it. Other than that, the game runs really well. The areas look decent, the weapons look decent, the sprites for your own character's hand and gun is fine. The sprites for the enemies aren't the best, and the closer they get to you, yeah, they are pretty ugly. I'm not going to deny that. They are. But there is this rumour going around that there always has been, I think, that this game just runs off VDP1 and doesn't use VDP2 at all. If that is the case, it makes it more impressive, I believe. Now, the way the areas come into sight actually benefits the game, because you wouldn't be able to see down all these dark corridors and everything on the vessels and in the dungeon kind of places you are, so that's good. It fades into view pretty well, and I do like the way that occurs. I really can't fault the graphics. It's not the best looking game in the world, but for what it is, for the time it came out, the graphics engine, it does do the job, and it does the job pretty well. Now, as I've talked about the sound in terms of the music already, I don't really need to cover that again. The sound effects in the game, yeah, they're spot on as well. All the guns sound impressive. The noises, the sounds there are for killing the aliens, destroying them, blowing things up, you can chuck grenades, the explosion noises. They're all there, they're all spot on. I can't fault anything like that at all. And perhaps the strongest aspect of the game is the sound and the music. That's not putting down any other part of the game, but it just emphasises the strength, in my opinion, that the game has in those areas. One thing I do need to cover though is these boss fights. Now, you can see on the screen I found a perfect position to stand where the boss cannot get any closer. Due to the ledge that I've gone up, I can turn around and just pump bullets into this monster until it dies. And it happened on this one, it happened on one of the other bosses I fought as well. There just seemed to be a particular area in the locations where you could stand and just pump it full of bullets over and over and over until these suckers die. And literally the alien couldn't do a thing, and eventually, boom, it was dead. One thing I do need to cover is your firepower. You've got your 9mm pistol, your shotgun, a flamethrower, the pulse rifle, the smart gun, batteries used to open doors. You also get grenades and these big bombs. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but that is it for your firepower. You don't really get a whole lot of firepower in this game, and you will quickly realise that the pulse rifle is probably your go-to weapon. The pistol, once you've upgraded it to the shotgun, you barely use it ever again. Shotgun bullets seem to be hard to come by in all fairness, so the pulse rifle will more than likely be your #1 go-to weapon. Another quick thing I'll point out is the fact you can enter passcodes in to skip levels, get infinity ammo, get infinity health, and have access to all guns whenever you want them, basically. So if you are finding it a bit tricky, and I only got stuck on one level, but yeah, you can cheat. You can type in the codes, get infinity health so you don't die on any of the levels, and basically get through the levels that way. If you don't want the challenge, you can just do that. Yep, you can. So the game sounds really good, it looks pretty decent. How does it play? Yeah, pretty standard for a first-person shooter back then. The D-pad moves you around, R and L strafe, A shoots, B open doors, the other buttons change your weapons and that kind of stuff. It's a pretty straightforward playing first-person shooter for the day. You adapt. If you played modern first-person shooters with dual analog sticks, you probably find it tough to adapt. I haven't really played many of those, so I didn't find it too much of a problem adapting back to these style of controls. I quite like it. It's pretty good. Plays pretty well, in all fairness. I think taking a look overall, I've been really positive about this game, and basically because I've enjoyed playing it myself. What I would say is I would class this as an introductory first-person shooter. It's not that difficult, it's not hard. Basically, you're killing every aliens, killing all the aliens on every level, sometimes finding batteries, sometimes pressing switches, opening doors, activating lifts, that kind of stuff. It's not hard, it's not overly complicated. The secrets, if you really want to class them that on this game, class them as that. They're not hard to find, so I think it's an introductory first-person shooter. It's a pretty good game. I mean, it's pretty decent overall anyway. It's only £10, so it's one of the cheaper games. You can get it from CEX really easily. It's always in stock. You can find a decent condition with a manual as well, so you've got no need to look for it on eBay. Readily available, probably one of the better selling Saturn games, I'm assuming. So all being said, I think it's a pretty decent game. It's not one of the best on the console, but it plays well, it looks pretty decent, it's got great sound effects. It's only a one player, so yeah, but this kind of first person shooter suits being a one player. You're alone, and I just feel that's actually fine. I don't really see it as a downside that it's only a one player game. I think there's 34 levels off the top of my head. I think it's 34, so it keeps going, and it's the kind of game that you want to do maybe 1 or 2 levels a day, play it for half an hour, come back to it the next day. I think if you tried to do it all in one go, you probably would get bored, especially having 10 levels in one kind of area, 10 levels in another kind of area. So breaking it down, playing it over a couple of weeks, an hour, half an hour, or maybe an hour a day, is ideal. And for that, I can't really fault this game in all fairness. So if you've not got it, even if you don't like first-person shooters, perhaps it's worth giving it a go. I recommend it. I'm not a big first-person shooter player anymore. These older style ones are the ones that appeal to me. I've got Duke Nukem, I've got Hexen, so they'll be reviewed at some point as well. All in all, this game's a win from me. I've really enjoyed playing it. I've only got a few levels left before I complete the game, so yeah, that's enough said, really. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Leave a comment down below if you've got your opinions of Alien Trilogy. Did you play it? Did you play it on the PlayStation? Because I've not even commented on the PlayStation version. Like I said before, I don't tend to look at comparing them much and review them for what they are. For what it is, the Saturn version is pretty good, and that's all I've got to say about that. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon for another Saturn review. Goodbye for now.